Oh, hey, shh. What am I doing? Well, our new neighbors are moving in next door. I know, spying is wrong, but they have so much wacky stuff.
Wow, look at that! A giant box and a saw? A white rabbit? A bunch of silk scarves. What kind of people do you think my new neighbors are? Carpenters? Veterinarians? Fashion designers?
Let's put on our detective hats, look for more clues, and get ready to make some inferences. Today we'll be learning all about making inferences. By the end of today's lesson, you'll be able to define inferencing and the formula for doing it effectively, understand the difference between explicit and implicit information, and you'll be able to make your own inferences. Let's start by breaking down the definition of inferencing.
Inferencing is using evidence and prior knowledge to find an idea that is not explicitly stated or shown.
Okay, let's break it down a little more. The information that the author tells us directly is explicit. We can use the explicit to make an inference about the implicit meaning of the text, which is something that the author does not tell us directly, but that they hint at. I think it might be helpful to have a formula for making an inference.
First, we need to find explicit evidence from the text or whatever we're analyzing. All that good stuff that would appear in a summary. Then, we need to add what we already know from past learning and experiences, our prior knowledge. This will help us form an idea that is hinted at, or implicitly stated, our inference.
I bet we can even use inferencing to help with the mystery of my new neighbors. Let's look at some of the other items they unloaded.
A bunch of handcuffs. Oops, a box of playing cards just spilled everywhere. A wardrobe trunk labeled capes and wands.
I think I've got it. Do you have a guess? I'm going to go ahead and infer that my new neighbors must be magicians. That is so cool. I wonder if they can teach me some tricks. Let's run through our inference formula to see how we got to this conclusion.
First, we used evidence from what we explicitly saw, the objects from the moving truck. Then we added our prior knowledge. I've seen and read about magicians who perform tricks like pulling rabbits out of hats, sawing people in half, or escaping from handcuffs. I've also seen magicians wear capes and hold magic wands. This all led to our inference that my new neighbors are magicians. Neat! I am loving this inferencing formula. It's almost magical.
Inferencing is also really useful during lots of other moments in your life. Can you think of a time where you might need to make an inference? Here are some of my ideas.
If you see that your houseplant is wilted or has brown spots, you could infer that the plant needs more water or sunlight. Maybe your friend sends you a message that sounds different from how they usually write. You might infer that something is wrong and ask them how they're doing. You might even run into my Aunt Muriel's little gremlin dog, Chewbacca. If you can see all his teeth and he's barking, you can infer that you should get out of there ASAP.
Wow, inferencing can really help you out. Inferencing is especially helpful when we're reading, and it's a skill you can use with a variety of texts. Let's try making some inferences while reading. Do you have your PDF ready? Great! You can read the passage to yourself or follow the link in the PDF to listen to a recording. As you read the passage in your guided notes, underline the explicit information the text gives that may provide clues for inferences you could make about the plot, characters, or setting. When you're finished, come back here so that we can make some inferences. Ready? Pause the video now while you read the passage and underline the explicit information. Welcome back. All done reading and underlining? Great work. Let's take a moment to compare what we've underlined.
Here's the passage we read and what I've underlined. Take a moment to hit pause and compare what we've done, and underline any additional ideas you think are important. How did you do with your underlining? Great work using your active reading skills. You're getting really good at this.
Now, what inferences can we make based on what the passage tells us explicitly? Write down one inference in the box of your guided notes. When you're finished, come back here and we'll share. Ready? Pause the video now. Got one? Great job.
Here are two inferences I made, and why. Lena doesn't seem to be enjoying her class, and she's having a hard time paying attention. I inferred this because she's sitting in the back, staring out the window, and looking at a bird instead of the teacher. My prior knowledge also tells me that when I'm looking away or daydreaming while someone's talking, it's usually because I'm bored or not very interested in what they're saying. Lena has moved to a new place recently and is feeling sad about it. I inferred this because she's thinking about her old friends and old neighborhood, suggesting she misses them. I also know that feeling a pang in her chest is an expression to show heartache.
So, what did you come up with? Awesome. Let's double check our inferences against the formula. Did we pick out explicit evidence from the text? Yes, we used specific words and ideas from the passage to support our inference. Did we use prior knowledge to help connect the dots? Yes, like when we used what we knew about word meanings and tone to infer the mood and feelings of the character. Did we think of ideas that go beyond what the text said explicitly? Yes, all of our points explore ideas that the author only hints at in the text, or implies. Way to go! I think we made some really solid inferences today. Hey, I hear the moving truck leaving. And there's one of my new neighbors with the last box. It's got something written on it. Magician's tools, I knew it! Our inferences were spot on. Enchanting effort today. Thank you so much for learning about making inferences with me. Remember, inferencing uses text evidence and prior knowledge to find an idea that isn't explicitly shown. It's a really great way to dig into the implicit meaning of a text.
For more practice, be sure to check out the PDF that accompanies today's lesson.
I'm going to try to catch my new neighbors and introduce myself. Maybe they'll help me figure out how to make that yappy little Chewbacca disappear. Until next time, my inferencing intellectuals.
Hey!